Hello friends, welcome to this course on NX. In this lecture, we are going to start a new module in NX that is about sketching. So sketching means we need to create the basic sketch such as lines, circles, rectangle, etc. to create the 3D solid geometry. Now to create the sketches, first of all, we will have to go to a new part module. So here I have to go to this new tab from here, click on new. In this new tab, go to the option of model and here we need to select the model. In the model tab we can see we have modeling and the units I am taking millimeters. We can insert some name to this here, name of the component, and also we can define the default location. So now I can click OK from here. From here, we need to go to this tab of Home. So click on this Home tab. Inside this Home tab, we can see the option of Sketch. Now in Sketch, we have two types of sketching. First, we can create the sketch on a 2D plane and also we can create the 3D sketch. So when I select the direct sketch from here we can see lines, rectangle, arcs, circle, etc. With all these options, we can create the 3D sketch. But initially, we will start with the 2D sketch. So now I have to click on this option of sketch. So click on the sketch. Now when I select the sketch option, it will ask to select a datum plane. See, generally right now we can see I have a 3D graphic window and a sketch is created on a 2D plane. So that is why we need to select a datum plane. Now let's understand more about these datum planes. So in NX, we have three default datum planes. But before datum planes, let's understand the coordinate system. Here we can see we have coordinate system. This is X, Y and Z. Now with each coordinate system, let's say I consider this XY plane. So here we have X and Y. With this XY we can see we have created XY plane. So in NX it is represented as XC-YC plane. Similarly, when we consider this X and Z plane, here we can see we have this XZ plane. So on the bigger picture we have this plane. We can see XC and ZC plane. Similarly, we have YC and ZC plane. So these are the three default datum planes. We can also create our custom datum planes and we will cover it later. And generally when you see from the top, we see this datum plane. Okay, so this is called the top plane. So in another name it is also called XCYC is top plane. And this plane is called the front plane. And this plane is called the right plane. So now go to NX. Now inside this NX, right now by default it is selecting as XY plane. So here we can see we have option plane and path. So initially start with the plane and then plane method. So plane method is what type of plane we want to choose, and then plane reference and specify point. So by default it is taking the default coordinate system. I can also select any different plane. If I take the mouse here, we can see now it is showing YZ plane. Similarly, this time it is showing XZ plane. So let's say initially I am selecting this XY plane. Click on this plane. Now we can see the plane is selected and click OK. And now we can see the plane has been oriented to a 2D view. Here we can see it is showing X and Y. So all the geometries we will create with respect to X and Y coordinate system. So the first thing we want to create is the line. So I go to the direct sketch from here and here we can see lines, rectangle, arc, circle, etc. So start with the line. So click on this line option. We can see another line dialog window will open. Input mode. Now in this input mode we have coordinate system and parameter mode. So now let's understand what are the coordinate system and parameter mode. So generally, as we already know, we have XY plane. So here we have this x-axis and this is our y-axis. And let's say I want to draw a line inside this plane. So this is our origin, this is 0, 0 point. This is the point number 1 of the line and this is point number 2. When we define this line using this coordinate system, so this point must have some coordinate and similarly this has some coordinate in terms of x and y. So this is called the coordinate mode. Similarly, when we want to define the line using the length, so we can specify the length of this line and using its orientation. So right now this line is inclined at some angle. So with that we can specify using the parameter mode. So whenever we specify any sketch using the coordinate mode, it is called the coordinate system. And when we define it by length and inclination, it is called parameter mode. So go to NX. Now inside this line, let's say I will start with this coordinate system. Now it is showing select the first point of the line. And now we can see with the arrow we can see XC and YC coordinate. So let's say initially I insert the value 0, press tab 0 and press enter. 0, 0 means origin is the first point of the line. After that, we can drag the mouse and we can see preview of a line. Now we have two options. We can specify this line using length and angle and also the coordinate system. So let's say once again I select this XY and then specify some value of X and Y. So let's say this is 50, press tab, this is 50 and press enter. Press escape. Now this coordinate is 0, 0 and this is 50, 50. So this is the first way of creating the lines in NX. But generally, since NX is a parametric based software, we use the parameter options. So go to the NX, then we can click on this parameter mode. Let's say I click for the first point, click here and then drag the mouse. Now we need to specify the length and angle of the line. Now let's say the length is 100, press tab, the angle is 45, press enter. So I zoom in here. Here we can see this dimension is showing the length is 100 and the angle is measured with respect to the horizontal axis. Now let's continue making a series of lines. So I go to line once again. And now I want to create a line whose starting point is this point. Now for this, first of all, we need to turn on the snap mode. Here make sure this endpoint option is on. So when I take the mouse here, it will automatically highlight the endpoint. In the bottom it will show the endpoint. So click here. And now in this window, it will ask endpoint or point on curve. So I am selecting endpoint. Now we can see preview of the line. So we just have to place it somewhere, click for the second point like this. If we want to escape from the line command, we can press the escape key from the keyboard. Also we can make a right click. I can click OK. And if I don't want this line, I can click cancel. So I click OK. So in this way we can see we have created one more line. Now let's explore some more options inside this line command. So I zoom in somewhere. I take the line command. Let's say I draw a line like this from this first point to the second point and then press escape. Now if I want to change the dimension of it, I can go to this rapid dimension. Click on rapid dimension. So it has multiple dimensions like linear, radial, angular, perimeter. So by default, if I select the rapid dimension, it will consider all these options. So just select this line and then place the dimension. Click here. Now I can insert any value. So let's say this is 200, press enter and close. Now once again click on line. So I am making one more line that is passing through this endpoint. Now take the mouse downward, and here we can see I want to create a line that is along with respect to this point. It means these are on the same horizontal line. So in NX there is an option that is called guidelines. So when I take the mouse onto this endpoint and then drag the mouse, we can see the dotted lines. These dotted lines basically called the guidelines. It means this dotted line is representing that we are in horizontal with respect to this point. So when I click here, let's say I click here, so here we can see, and here we can see these 2 points are along a same line. There is no angle between them. So I pick this point and point, and then click for the next point. This is starting point. So in this way we have completed this loop. Press escape. So in this way we can create the lines